welcome to today's video. Today is day 6 of Naked Week. Naked Week, Naked Week, Naked Week. Day 6 only brings one palette, and that one palette is the Naked Cherry. Now, we're entering the territory where I've purchased a palette and never even swatched it. Please don't judge me. This palette got released, I believe, at the back end of 2018. I believe it was like October time in 2018, and I only purchased it this year. The reason I didn't get this was I felt like this was a very weird theme. I liked the colours in it. I didn't like that it was called Cherry, because to me this is more of a berry. If they had called this the Naked Berry palette, for some reason in my mind I would have been like, it's mine, I love it. But like, I just don't know. There's something about this palette, this whole vibe, that I just didn't understand. It didn't ring true to me. And then of course, like, more palettes came out and I wanted those, and then I was like, wait, now I'm missing one in the collection. So I ended up purchasing this. So I've never even used this. So today is going to be a bit of a first impressions, and hopefully it's nice inside. I mean, inside the packaging has got like cute little black cherries and everything. I actually like cherries. Cherries are a lovely fruit. I just don't, there's something about it. There's something about the whole vibe of this that I just don't understand. I don't understand cherry. Why didn't they just do Naked Berry? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks this? I just feel like you've got Naked Smoky, Naked Heat. It's a very generic thing, you know. It's the hot, it's the smoky, it's the, well, 1, 2 and 3, you can't really escape the name of that, but Naked Berry would have been so much better, I personally think. So this is what the packaging looks like. Hopefully you can just about see that. It runs like little cherries from dark to white, a white cherry. I like the box. I like that you have this, I don't know if you can just about see that there, if it's going to focus. Can you see almost like this clear perspex-y bit on top? It's like nice. It's not my favourite packaging. I find Naked quite difficult to read, not so much on camera, but in person with all the little cherry things, I just don't, something about this palette didn't vibe with me. But when you open it, it's really pretty. Like, the colour story is something I would go for. In fact, I have the Too Faced Peach palette, and okay, it's a bit more peachier, but it has like these tones, and I really like these tones. So it was never the tones that turned me off, it was just the vibe of it. I like the packaging. Actually, no, I don't. I like the colour, I don't like the cherry vibe. I'm not going to say that anymore, but you know how I feel about it, okay? Yet again, I've decided to wear something long sleeved. Do I learn from these things? Clearly not. Before I carry on, I also forgot to mention that the playlist for Naked Week will be linked up in the eye here, so you can go watch any of Naked Week if you have missed it. If this is your first time seeing this video, hello, this is Naked Week, and the whole concept of this is to go back, enjoy and be re-inspired by my old makeup. I'm starting with the Naked palettes because they are like my collector items that I don't really use very often. Evidently, I've got this and not used it yet. So yeah, that's kind of the whole concept of Naked Week. I'd kind of like to do this as a series with other palettes maybe in the future, and other series of palettes. But yeah, that's Naked Week. If you want to go check out the eye, like I said, it's a playlist, and I'll have all of the palettes from day 1 to day 8 of Naked Week. I also realise there's 7 days in a week, but we have 8 palettes. So there's now going to be 8 days in this week. So like I said, really like the colour scheme in here. You have got some really nice pale shades and some really nice deep shades. I would have maybe preferred this to be a bit deeper, because actually when you look at it, it's not as deep as it looks. But let's get in and swatch this. I've never even touched this, ever. So I'm a nightmare. The first shade is Hot Spot, which is this matte, it's like a matte cream, I'd say. A creamy shade. It's kind of got like a hint of a pink undertone. I'd say it's like a pink cream. Very subtle pink, but yeah, it's part of the cream family. The next shade we have is Caution, which is this shade right here, and this is I would say a brown neutral, again with a tiny bit of pink base to it. It's very subtle, but when you look at it in the pan you can see that taupey pinkness to it, but yeah, it's a very nice transition shade. We then have the shade Bang Bang, which is the first metallic, and this is a berry pink, a light berry pink with golden glittery, sparkly metallicness going on. Very, very pretty. It's like a peachy pink shift gold. The next shade we have here is Feels. That is Feels with a Z. And this is a lovely, I'd say a berry pink with a brown undertone. Yeah, I'd say that, like a purpley brown undertone berry pink. It's very pretty. We then have the shade Juicy, which I would say is a straight up peach. Very, very pretty. Something, actually a very, very pretty shade, but I'd say it's like a straight up peachy shade, peachy pink. We then have the shade Turn On, which is, how do I describe this shade? It's very different. It's almost like an apricot, it's almost like an apricot brown with pink metallicness to it. So it kind of is belonging in that pink family, but kind of in the peachy apricot family. I'd say it's like an apricot-y sort of pink shimmer. We then have the shade Ambitious, which is a much more, again, kind of not red. This is kind of like a coppery apricot. It's not quite orange, but it's quite apricot-y peach again. It's kind of linking into that pinky reddy sort of family, so I'd say an apricot metallic. We then have the shade Bing, which is this beautiful plummy berry tone matte. Really, really pretty. And the next shade is Devilish, which is more of this cherry berry colour is what I'm going to call it, because it's leaning a bit more red than pink, but yeah, really, really nice. It's sort of cherryish matte. We then have the shade Young Love, which is, I'd say, a berry with a bright pink reflect in the metallic, but with a deeper base. So when you hit the shade, it's going to look deeper, and when you hit the light, it's going to look more of that vibrant, plummy, pinky colour. The next shade is Drunk Dial, which is this brown based purple metallic. It's very, very deep. It's more of a plummy shade. As you can see, when I draw it back, you can see that deep brown base. When I bring it forward, hopefully the light can catch it for you. It's kind of got this like purple, a purpley tone to it. You can just about see it there. It's kind of like pinky purpley toned metallic to it. And then the last shade we have here is Privacy, which, oh wow, it was a really bad swatch. Sorry, let me add a little bit more to that. It's just like this deep, like a black cherry brown. It's kind of got a hint of purple to it, like a hint of cherry purpley vibe, but it's, I'd say, a brown with a purple undertone. So that is the palette on my arms. That is a swatch of the palette. Again, I said I wouldn't say it, but to me this doesn't represent a cherry whatsoever. This represents berries. Very much so berries, you know, like the blackberry shades and the raspberries, the apricot-y sort of peachy shades, and I'd say the only one that represents a cherry is this one, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced by the name, but it's a very, very pretty palette, very, very wearable, and I feel like I have chosen the right top today to go with it. They have also stained my fingers. This bodes well. Just like my other videos, I'm going to be doing a lighter look and a deeper look, so kind of nighttime, daytime, but really all I'm doing is just trying to showcase as many of the colours in this palette as possible. Obviously there are 12 shades, just like there are in all of the palettes, and I'm going to kind of do some lighter daytime look and a deeper nighttime look. Of course, makeup is makeup. I wear nighttime looks shopping in the supermarket, so I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to showcase as many shades as I possibly can. The first shade I'm going to go into is the shade Juicy, this lovely peachy colour. And I'm going to just put this through the crease. I nearly forgot to zoom you in yet again. How many points am I going to get for doing that this week? With the same brush, I'm going to take the shade Hot Spot, the lightest pinky cream, and I'm just going to take this on the brow bone and just blend that into the Juicy shade, just to kind of tone it down a little bit. I'm going to work those two shades into one another. I'm just going to shove this in the inner corner as well, just to brighten it up whilst we're here, because there's no real like highlighting colour, so I'm going to use this white matte and just keep applying it throughout the look to kind of just brighten that area up a little bit more. think because I want this look to be really, really fresh, I might leave the lower lash line completely exposed and have nothing underneath it, so it just looks really lifted and fresh and not too heavy. So I'm going to try and do my best to not go on the under eye, because it's a force of habit. I'm then going to just take a smaller brush and go into Fields, which is more of like a neutrally, more of like a taupey sort of pink. I'm just going to shove this on the outer corner. I just want to add like a little bit of shadow here. I know that these colours are quite similar in, not their tone, but their vibrancy, so they're not going to look too different, which is what I want, because I just want this to blend really nicely into the outer corner, so that when we layer another colour in, it's just going to really seamlessly blend into one another. So just a tiny bit on my outer corners. I'm going to go into Bing, which is this purpley shade, and just slightly go into my outer corner with this, but just kind of drag it into the crease a little bit, just a touch. I'm then going to go into the shade Devilish, this one right here, and this is going to be like my deepening shade, but because I want this to be nice and fresh, I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to do a touch just so it doesn't look too flat on the eyes. And then with a finger I'm going to go into Bang Bang, this one right here, and I'm just going to tap this where I haven't put any shadow yet. I'm just going to go back into Juicy, just a touch, just to make sure that none of those glitters kind of get too high. And then I'm going to go back into Devilish, just a touch again, just to kind of blend this outer corner a little bit. And then I'm literally just going to go back into Hotspot, the white matte, and just again put that on the inner corner just to kind of re-intensify that brightness. And I think that's all I want to do. Like, that's a really simple, peachy kind of berryish look, and I really like that. It's got like enough shimmer for it to be really subtle and daytimey. So I'm gonna go shove some mascara and a lip on, and we will review this cute little daytime look. Okay, mascara and lip is on. I will be very honest with you. I went away for a while because I had a cup of tea. Need a little break, need a little chit chat break, so I have been a little while later, but the makeup is still exactly the same. I applied some Roller Lash mascara and the Wet n Wild gel lip liner in Bear to Comment. I just got this like all over my lips and then just kind of tapped it out just to kind of blend it all out. I just thought this would go really nicely, and I think it does. I think it does. In my camera it looks pretty nice, in real life it looks pretty nice, but I think this is a really nice, easy, very easy, very flattering day look. And I'd happily wear this to work. This is the sort of look I do wear to work, to be honest with you, like something just fluffed through the crease, something tapped out on the lids, and maybe something to deepen and darken. Yeah, I really like it, and I actually quite like how I've left my lower lash line bare. I feel like it looks a little bit fresher. Obviously you don't have to leave it bare, but I have this look. Yeah, let me zoom you in. So this is the look, like I said, very simple. It's just kind of got like that really nice shimmer across the lid that just looks really, not glossy, but just bright and cheerful, and I really like it. I feel like it just really goes, and just really fresh and cheerful. I like it. I'm going to go wipe this all off now, and then we're going to try a little bit of a deeper, darker look, something a bit different. I want to use these purples as well and really blow them out. I think that could be really nice, just sort of blowing these out and then put this all over the lid. Something really deep, cherry, smoky. I mean, it's more raspberry, we won't talk about it again. Okay, I just scooped my hair back because it's a little bit toasty in this room, so I'll take it all down as my massive long locks. I'll take my ponytail down when we do our great unveiling of the dark berry toned look that I'm going to do. Where do I start with this? I'm going to start with the shade Caution, this shade right here, and I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just fluff this all over the crease and all over the lid. Again, just kind of, I mean, you know me, I like to just create a bit of a basis of where I'm going to put my shadows to kind of almost contour my eyelids with just like a base colour. So I'm just going to fluff this all over the lid. I'm then going to take the shade Devilish, this one right here, and I'm going to take this on like a flat shader brush and just try and pack this all over the lid. I'm then going to take the shade Bing, this one next to it, because it's a little bit paler. I'm going to just take this and blend that devilish shade up and out to kind of smoke it a little bit. And then going to go back into devilish, just kind of again blend that together. Just going back and forth just helps, I find, to create a nice blend, especially in the crease. And I want to take Bing again, this one right here, and I want to just drag this on my lower lash line. I'm then going to take the shade Ambitious, I think, this one right here, and I'll take that on my finger and just kind of press that all over, just so there's like a light wash of it all over my lid. And then I'm going to take the shade Privacy, the deepest one. I'm going to take this on like a little crease brush, and I'm going to just put this on the outer corner and the inner corners. I'm going to put this on the outer corners and the inner corners. I want to kind of create almost like a halo eye, but not too much, just kind of a deeper part. I suppose like a halo eye, but not too much of an obvious one. I then want to take the shade Young Love, this one right here, this metallic. I'm going to take that on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to wet this a tiny bit, and I just want to put this in the centre of the lid to try and capture the light and have like the pinkiness hit the eye. With like a big denser brush, like this big under eye brush, I'm going to go into Hot Spot, and since you don't really have that inner corner highlight, I intend on doing a bright pinky inner corner highlight with Bang Bang, but I just want to brighten up first with a bit of that whiteness. And then I'm going to go into Bang Bang, this one right here, on a little pencil brush, and I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner as well, just on top. I think that's how I want to leave things. I mean, yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go apply some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, and that is the look. I mean, it's not, I won't lie, this isn't my favourite look. I feel like I didn't, like, something happened in the crease there. Maybe I blended too much of the lighter shade with the deeper shade. I'm not sure. I just feel like my eyes kind of look quite heavy. Maybe it's the lash, I'm not sure. Like, I put these little dinky lashes on. They're from Lash Unlimited in the number 17. The number 17. I kept the Wet n Wild lip liner on just because I thought it would go, and I couldn't be bothered to find another shade, to be quite honest with you. I don't mind this. Like, I feel like with this palette, the more shades you put on, I feel like the more, not muddy, but like it's all going to blend into one another too much, because they're all very similar tones. I feel like less is more with this palette. Using the shades for my first look, I was using less shades, and I felt like it looked prettier because it looked effortless. And I feel like that's what this palette is it's like an effortless palette if you want berry tones, especially like these raspberry cherry tones. I'm not sure I like this look specifically. I think I was trying to be a bit too creative. I just feel like here, hang on, see if I can, like, can you see here? That, let me zoom you in. The shades just haven't blended brilliantly together, I don't think, in my personal opinion. I just feel like it's a little bit skippy, but I don't hate it. It's not like, oh my god, get this off my eyes right this minute. I just wouldn't necessarily be happy with my eyeshadow looking like this. I'd go out maybe just for lunch like this, but this isn't for me like a night out look. I don't really like it that much. It just looks a little bit messy. That might be my workmanship. Yeah. Overall, I'd say I like this palette. I think it's a very pretty palette. I think if you like these tones, then you are going to enjoy the quality of it. Overall, I'd say I like this palette. It's not one of my favourites, but I feel like if I want these tones again, this is definitely a really easy palette to dip into. I feel like I said less is more with this, so if you wanted a few mattes and like one shimmer, something like that, like just a four shadow look, I feel like this is perfect. But for me, I like to apply lots of different tones, deepening, darkening, and I just feel like everything blended in together a bit too much for my liking. Again, that could have been my workmanship, it could have been the colours I specifically chose, but I liked that first look I created with the lighter tones and just fewer, you know, fewer shades. So I really like this palette. I think if you enjoy these tones then you won't be disappointed. How many shimmers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a pretty good split for me. I like a good 50-50 split when it comes to metallics, shimmers and mattes basically. I like it to be mattes and then kind of special shades or topper shades, anything like that. I don't mind what sort of formula it is, but I like it to be a half and half, and this is pretty much half and half. There's 12 shadows, 7 of them are mattes and 5 of them are metallics. I think the quality of the shadows are really, really nice. They are a little bit dusty, just a smidgen, a little bit dusty, I will say that, but that doesn't affect their blendability. I think they are really, really nice, and again, if you enjoy these tones, I think you won't be disappointed. So yeah, that was day 6 of Naked Week using the Naked Cherry palette. What do you think? Have you got this palette? What do you think of it? Do you think that I'm right in saying that less is more with this one? Please do discuss with me down below if you have got this palette, if you want this palette. Just discuss this palette in general down below with me, because I'd like to know your thoughts. This is the first time I've played with this palette, so I don't know much about it yet. We haven't spent enough time together, but thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying Naked Week so far. Only 2 more days left and that is the whole week over. My god, poor editing Meg right now. It's probably working to the bone. Subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell because then you'll be notified of all the videos I upload. I upload every single week and you wouldn't want to miss out on more content from me, especially in weeks like these when I upload every single day in the week. That is dedication, okay? It's dedication. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs this video up if you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.